On an overcast night here at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, the Orleans Firebirds are back on the road for the second straight night as they continue a pivotal stretch away from home with the halfway point of the season approaching. It's your Orleans Firebirds taking on the Falmouth Commodores right here on the Birds Broadcast Network. And hi again, everybody. Gareth Quagg alongside my partner, Carlo Jimenez. So glad you can join us here on this Monday night. Well, if you like offense, this is the game for you. Two of the best offensive teams on the Cape, Orleans and Falmouth, two of the best home run hitting teams on the Cape. Orleans beginning a critical point of the season right now as they have 7 of the next 10 games on the road. And for a team that does well at home but has looked a little shaky up and down on the road, this is going to be a pivotal stretch with the halfway point of the season approaching and with the Eastern Division still a bit of a cluster. It's going to be important for Orleans to have to win these road games in order to pull away in what is going to be a close finish in the Eastern Division. Meanwhile, for Falmouth, their home woes continued yesterday with the loss against Cotuit at home. They are winless at home, and it's baffling, but for Orleans, this is an opportunity for them to get a win on enemy turf. For more on this matchup, let's now send it over to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, for tonight's Early Bird pregame show.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. We got another edition here of the Early Bird pregame show. Noah Searson, sideline reporter, as always, with Cole Bradley. We're back here on the show. Couldn't be more excited. We're in Falmouth, made the hour-long trek from inland on the Cape all the way to Falmouth. It's going to be a fun game, and we're really excited. One of the reasons it's going to be really fun, Cole, is because there's a lot of new guys on this team, a lot of roster transitions, if we're being honest. You got Ryland Thomas, who was absolutely tearing it up, over 400 average, your league leader in hitting. He's gone. He's got MLB draft aspirations. He played great, made his contributions. Good for Ryland. We wish him the best. But the Firebirds lose their best hitter, and in their place, they got 2 guys coming in, Luke Keishley, Corey Acton. That's your new left side of the infield for today, shortstop and third base. So, we don't know a ton about them yet. They kind of just showed up today, Cole, but it's definitely going to be an interesting transition. We've gone from, seeing Young and Sprinkle up the middle to Chatinier to Blackwell. We've had a Marcano, and now we got a completely new look on the left side.
Yeah, like you said, there's just been such a shift. I mean, so many guys going in and out. That's sort of how it works this time of year with the draft and stuff like that. But the one big thing to keep an eye out for is Corey Acton has Cape experience. He was with Harwich to start this summer and then came over here. But, yeah, just a lot of shuffling of the infield. Keishel, I think, is going to be a big part up the middle. Don't know a whole lot about him yet, but I'm sure we'll get to know him a little bit more tonight and see what he does.
Yeah, it should be really fun, and this is going to be a big game for the Firebirds. Last night, you had a tough loss to YD. The Red Sox, once again, had Kelly Nicholson's number. But when you look at the game, 10 hits in that one, so it wasn't for lack of, getting on base or even rust, because the Firebirds had only played 1 game in the last 4 days coming into that one, but it was some clutch hitting, Cole, and pitching was decent, but, you have 1 bad inning in there, it doesn't bode too well for the squad.
Absolutely, and I talked to Coach Kelly after the game, and he said it was a really weird one. I mean, that 3rd inning where Rajic gave up 3 runs was an inning where no balls left the infield. It was sort of one of those things where if one hop goes a favorable way, maybe you don't give up any runs. And that's sort of weird because when you always look in those moments, you obviously can never go back and fix those, but you always sort of second guess, like, what if this happened? What if that happened? So it was just kind of a weird one. They stranded 11 runners on base. I'm sure that's something that they will definitely be hungry to sort of reverse tonight. That's sort of not been their game plan at all, really, since the season started. But yeah, it was just kind of a weird one. That's really all you can say about it, I guess.
Which, in a weird way, that's almost encouraging because they're getting the hitting. This isn't the same squad that, Kelly kind of had to get scrappy, lay down bunts, just get guys on. They're getting on. It's just a matter of getting them in after they're on. Definitely will be a big thing going in tonight. Another big storyline will be second start from Dawson Netz, freshman out of Arizona, who had a great first appearance, 1 inning when he first came to the Cape, and then last week had a fantastic start. So I think it's safe to say when we're thinking about a recipe that the Firebirds need to put together to win, it starts with another great start from Netz.
Yeah, absolutely. And his first start came against the league best born Braves, and he absolutely demolished them. I mean, it was 3 innings of one-hit ball. He had 5 strikeouts, no walks. He looked really, really good, and I'm sure that's only going to continue to get better tonight. But, yeah, he was very, very impressive, and I think to get back in the win column, you definitely need a good outing from someone, and Dawson Nets just appears to be that guy.
Yeah, and it starts with the guy on the bump, but definitely a lot of other things are going to have to happen if Orleans wants to win this one all the way in Falmouth. So, Cole, when you're thinking about keys to the game, what Orleans has to do to get a win, what would be the key to a win in this one?
Get him on, get him over, get him in. Those 3 things. You got to return to form, I think, tonight against a Falmouth squad that has struggled at home. The Birds have also struggled on the road as well. Something's got to give. I think returning to form, establishing that offensive presence that they've had virtually the past week, 2 weeks. So I think that's the big thing. Get him on, get him over, get him in. Live and die by that.
Yeah, I think that's a good motto to live by if you're the Firebirds. And I think a part of that, if that's going to happen, is you need to get contributions out of the newbies. We're talking about Luke and Corey, shortstop, third baseman, those guys on the left side, not only defensively, having a strong defense for Nets and whoever else comes in, but also getting their bats going. They're at the bottom of the lineup. And coming over from Harwich wasn't great for, some of the guys. So I think it'll be interesting. Get contributions out of them defensively, offensively, kind of get them worked into the system, and that'll definitely be a big part of if the Firebirds are able to win tonight. That's all we got here on the Early Bird pregame show. Once again, Cole Bradley, follow his coverage. He's got great features, great recaps coming out. So follow him on Twitter. Follow Firebirds on Twitter, and myself. I've been taking a bit more of a cameraman role. Got a bunch of cool pieces coming out in the future, so be on the lookout for those. But right now, we got a big game, Firebirds, Commodores. It's going to be a doozy, so I'll send it back to you in the booth, Gareth.
All right, thanks so much, Noah Searson, for the Early Bird pregame show. National Anthem has already been sung. Very nice National Anthem sung out here in Falmouth. Live from Gov Fuller Field at Arnie Allen Diamond. First time between the Orleans Firebirds and the Falmouth Commodores tonight. And let's get into the starting lineups as we await the Commodores to take the field. For Orleans, and for manager Kelly Nicholson, leading off will be Peyton Chanier, the second baseman from Ole Miss. Hitting second, Jared McKenzie, the left fielder from Baylor. Hitting third, Connor Cox, who is back in the lineup playing center field, coming off a 2 RBI night against YD last night. He'll hit third. Chase DeLauder, the cleanup man, playing right field. Hitting fourth. Hitting fifth, Tyler Locklear from VCU. He's getting the start at first base tonight. Hitting seventh, Julio Marcano, the DH from NJIT. He will hit sixth. Luke Keischel, who was just activated onto the roster this morning, a shortstop from the University of San Francisco. He will hit seventh, making his first start on the Cape this summer. Corey Acton getting his first start as an Orleans Firebird, playing third and hitting eighth. The former Harwich Mariner is in the starting lineup for Kelly Nicholson tonight. And then, last but not least, hitting ninth is Garrett Guillemette, the catcher from the University of Southern California. The defensive alignment today for the Falmouth Commodores will look like this. Anthony Hall in left field, Doug Hodo in center field, Jace Borfin in right field, Brennan Malone and Cody Colden on the left side of the infield, with Braden Taylor and Bryson Ware on the right side of the infield, and the catcher from Clemson, Jonathan French, behind the plate. For tonight's starting pitcher, the left-hander, rising sophomore from Appalachian State, it's Tyler Tuthill, a 6'2", 205-pound left-hander from Clayton, North Carolina. And for Appalachian State this spring, as a second-year freshman, he made 14 starts at a 3.32 ERA and through 89 1/3 innings with 76 strikeouts over 43 walks. He was one of the best starting pitchers for App State this season. And so he will be making his first start of the summer for the Commodores. And Tuthill, who has already made 4 appearances this summer out of the bullpen, but this is going to be his first start on the bump to start off the game. So he will face off against Peyton Chanier, Jared McKenzie, and Connor Cox on what is a overcast evening here in Falmouth. We made the 45-minute to hour drive from Orleans. And we are set for baseball here with a crowd beginning to file in along the right field line. There's a large grandstand down the right field line by the bullpen, and then there's another set of bleachers that is behind the first base dugout. We are positioned right here just off the right-handed batter's box behind a chain link fence. Got ourselves a nice view of the field from the ground level, although there's not much seating along the left field side of the visitors dugout. We have a couple of Orleans host families and parents and fans in attendance that will, I'm sure, get more crowded as the night continues. Wind is blowing in here at Gov Fuller Field, very similar to how Eldridge Park plays. Wind blowing in sort of sideways toward right field. First pitch to the right hand hitting Chanier, and the high fly ball well struck out the deep left center field. Going back, drifting back, and then squaring up and settling over to his left to make the catch is Anthony Hall, the left fielder from the University of Oregon. And so with one pitch, Chanier is retired, and that's how this game gets started as we start at 6:01 p.m. local time from Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Almost thought we had another leadoff home run from Chanier. That ball just short of the wall.
Tyler Tuthill, a left-hander, will throw from a three-quarter arm slot. Fastball will be mid-80s, high 80s. First pitch to the left-hand hitting McKenzie is low for ball one at 86 miles an hour. So his fastball will run 86 to 91. He does have a big, slow curveball as well as a changeup. McKenzie squares one up deep to center field, hit pretty well. Going back and deep center and making the catch is Doug Hodo, the center fielder from the University of Texas. And so two loud outs to be in the game here from the Orleans Firebirds. Two deep fly balls off the bats of Chanier and McKenzie, but nothing to show for it. There's two down here in the first. So here comes the right-hand hitting Cox from Long Beach State. Hitting .269 with 7 runs batted in on the year. First pitch from the lefty Tuthill is fastball right down the middle for a called strike. 0-1 to Cox, who had himself a solid game yesterday at YD. He went 3 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Swings and hits one off the body of Tuthill off his back. It ricochets to the second baseman Taylor. Throws on the run with the bare hand in time. A line drive that struck the back of the lefty Tuthill on the mound, and it kicked off to the second baseman Taylor. And with a bare hand, he's able to throw out Connor Cox by a step, and the side is retired. A very quick top of the first inning, 1-2-3, as we head to the bottom of the first. No score here from Falmouth. We're just getting things started when we come back.
The Cape Cod Baseball League would like to welcome our new sponsor, Mosquito Mary's, a locally owned, family-operated business that provides all-natural mosquito and tick control. Call 866-ASK-MARY or go to MosquitoMarys.com, mention the Cape Cod Baseball League, and get your first treatment for only $29. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on the Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no-calorie options.
All right, thanks so much, Carlo Jimenez. Always appreciated here as we are now in the last of the first. Very quick. Top of the first inning thrown by the left-hander Tyler Tuthill from Appalachian State. And so Orleans, they have now taken the field. And let's go introduce the starting lineup for Falmouth tonight. Winless at home. They have no wins at home. They have 6 losses and a tie, which is hard to believe. But this is how they're going to line up here for Jeff Trundy, the manager for Falmouth. Doug Hodo will lead off. He's from the University of Texas. He's playing center field. Hitting second, Braden Taylor, the Big 12 Freshman of the Year from TCU. He will hit second and play second. Hitting third is Jace Borfin, one of the best players on the Cape right now, who just recently committed to Arkansas. He'll hit third. Hitting fourth is Taylor Smith, the DH from Texas A&M. Hitting fifth, Anthony Hall, the left fielder from Oregon. Hitting sixth, Jonathan French, the catcher from Clemson. And then rounding out the final 3, Brennan Malone will hit seventh, from the third baseman from South Carolina. Hitting 8th, Bryson Ware, the first baseman from Auburn. And then hitting 9th, Cody Colden, the shortstop from Washington State. Defensive alignment for Orleans tonight Jared McKenzie in left field, Connor Cox in center field, Chase DeLauder in right field. Corey Acton getting the start at third base with Luke Keischel at shortstop. Third baseman and shortstop, new look for Orleans. Both guys making their Orleans debuts tonight, with Peyton Chanier at second base, Tyler Locklear getting the start at first base, and Garrett Guillemette doing the catching for Dawson Nets. Orleans' starting pitcher tonight. Dawson, a 6'1", 195-pound right-hander from the University of Arizona, a temporary player and a right-hander, with the first pitch to Doug Hodo, a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike at 90 miles an hour. No balls in a strike to Hodo. Dawson Nets, who was a second-year freshman and had a solid first full season with Arizona as they went to the College World Series, making his second start of the summer for Orleans. A one-pitch, big curve ball is high and in for ball one. Count even at 1. So Dawson Nets making his second start of the summer. In his first start of the summer, he pitched up against Bourne and pitched 3 scoreless innings of one-hit ball. 1-1 pitch, Hodo takes a fastball outside, and a count now 2-1. 3 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts from Nets for the right-hander against a Bourne team that remains the best on the Cape. So impressive stuff in his debut with the Firebirds. 2-1 pitch to Hodo, and he hits it softly on the ground to third. Corey Acton gets a high hop, fields, throws across the diamond, and it's in time for the first out of the first for Dawson Nets.
Well, you mentioned it, Garrett. Acton did not get a room service hop over there down the third base line. A slow roller that popped up on him at the last moment, and his first test in a Firebird uniform, and he passes.
So Corey Acton at third base, committed to Georgia. He was formerly with the Florida Gators, but entered the transfer portal and is now a Georgia Bulldog. And so he's at third, making his Orleans debut. Luke Keischel from the University of San Francisco, he's getting his first start at shortstop today. New look left side of the infield. That's the first pitch to the left-hand hitting Braden Taylor, is a called strike on the outside. 0-1 to Braden Taylor, left-handed hitter from TCU, and one of the best hitters in the Horned Frogs lineup this past spring, at the second best average with a 324 for TCU. 0-1 pitch, line down the left field line, foul. And it's 0-2 now to Taylor. Orleans wearing their red camo uniforms with the black letters and numbers. The red camouflage vests, designed by Marcus Stroman and the HDMH Apparel Company. Falmouth going with their black tops, white bottoms with maroon letters and numbers. Very old school. Look, 0-2 pitch. Fastball just outside. Good spot from Dawson Nets. Guillemette asking the home plate umpire, Rich Capitelli, where that exactly was. Rich Capitelli, the home plate umpire. Ronaldo Cockrum at first base, and Ryan DeMary calling at third. Those are the umpires for tonight. 1-2 pitch from Nets. Breaking ball, foul tipped into the glove of Guillemette for strike 3. So strikeout number 1 for Dawson Nets today, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting the right fielder from the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, number 16.
So here is Jace Borfin now. Rising sophomore, who was formerly with the University of Oklahoma as a Sooner, but entered the transfer portal and is now an Arkansas Razorback. First pitch, swing and a miss with a fastball at 90 miles an hour. 0-1. He announced his commitment to the Razorbacks back on Saturday, and he's one of the best hitters on the Cape right now. He's tied for the league in runs batted in. Left-handed hitter, open stance, 0-1 pitch. Borfin takes low. Ball 1 to the Commodores right fielder, Jace Borfin. Lights beginning to turn on here at Gov Fuller Field as well. Very old school looking ballpark. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, tap foul back to the chain link fence. And it's 1-2. Dawson Nets is gonna mostly a 2-pitch guy. He's got a fastball that'll run high 80s, low 90s. But he has an exceptional curveball as well that'll throw off any hitter's timing. He's ahead 1-2 to Jace Borfin. From the windup, here's the 1-2 pitch. High fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Dawson Nets with 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 first. And we move on to the second here from Falmouth. Orleans nothing, Falmouth nothing, when we come back here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Nationals and
Back here from Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field. Gareth Kwok alongside my partner Carlo Jimenez. Game number 16 on the schedule for the Orleans Firebirds as well as the Falmouth Commodores. And we're happy to have you with us here on this Monday night. Overcast, windy, wind blowing in here in Falmouth. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings from Dawson Nets and Tyler Tuthill in that first inning. And now Tuthill back out on the mound. First pitch to the left-hand hitting Chase DeLauder is a breaking ball on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 to DeLauder. Hitting .327 with 6 homers, 13 runs batted in. Takes another breaking ball at the knees for a called strike 2. 0-2 to the James Madison right fielder, Chase DeLauder. One of the best power hitters on the Cape right now. From the windup, 0-2. Another breaking ball DeLauder takes low in the dirt, and it's 0-2. DeLauder's been seeing a lot more breaking balls from opposing pitchers as of late. Opposing pitchers now have the scouting report not to throw fastballs. 0-2 pitch, hit on the ground, through the right side of the infield, and in the right field for a base hit. DeLauder aboard. First to the ball game for the Firebirds, and he got a fastball on the inside corner and was able to pull it through the right side with the second baseman, Taylor, playing up the middle. So there was a wide open hole between second and first, the second baseman and the first baseman, and so DeLauder's aboard with nobody out. And here's Tyler Locklear for Orleans. Locklear hitting .235, 4 homers, 14 runs batted in. First pitch is low and in for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Tyler Locklear. Orleans coming into this game with a record of 7-6-2. Falmouth with a record of 5-8-2. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. Gets past the, squirts away from the catcher French. Not far enough for DeLauder to go after second. So it's 2-0 now to Locklear. Tyler Locklear, who leads the team in runs batted in. He's second in the league in RBIs with 14. Right-handed hitter. 2-0 pitch from Tuthill. Hit on the ground to third. Fielded by Malone. He'll go to second for 1. Colden's throw to first. In time, a double play. Check that, Taylor at second, who made the turn. So 5-4-3. Falmouth goes around the horn in the infield. And there's 2 down here in the top of the second.
number 7, Julio Marcano.
So base is empty now, 2 down, and now the right-hand hitting Julio Marcano from NJIT stands in. First pitch from Tuthill. Breaking ball is up high for ball 1. Julio still trying to find a rhythm at the plate, hitting .176. Swings and sharp ground ball up the middle for a base hit into center field. Didn't waste any time, got a fastball middle in, and he ropes it on the ground into center field for a base hit. So a 2-out hit for Julio Marcano.
Number 9, Luke Kiesel.
And here comes now Luke Kiesel making his first plate appearance for the Firebirds this summer. In his first game with Orleans, right-handed hitter, a rising sophomore from the University of San Francisco. First pitch, Kiesel doesn't waste any time and grounds one foul down the left field line. And it's 0-1. Luke kind enough to talk to us during batting practice. He was playing for the Gaithersburg Giants in the Cal Ripken League in the state of Virginia. 0-1 pitch, Kiesel, pardon me, fouls one off to the right. And it's 0-2 now to Luke Kiesel.
Brought to you by Supreme Pizza.
His name is not Luke Kuechly. Gonna have to get that out of my jargon. 0-2.
Be interesting if it was, though.
It sure would be. But he got a call from his coach at USF and told him that you're going to the Cape. They have an open spot. And he said, say less. 0-2 pitch, blocked in the dirt. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Luke Kiesel, who was just activated on the roster today. True freshman, who was the best hitter for the University of San Francisco This past year, he led the team in average and hits, as well as triples, so he has good speed on the base paths. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. The bat goes flying, and it falls out toward the right near us here at the broadcast table. And so Keishel is down swinging, and so a scoreless second thrown by Tyler Tuthill, and they'll take us to the bottom of the second. Still no score here from Gov Fuller Field, and we'll be right back here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Anzoni, owner of Fairway Financial and Cape Cod's Retirement Income Specialist. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, schedule a time to meet with me today.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Bottom two here from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth. Orleans unable to score in the top of the second. We're now in the bottom of the second. Dawson Netz pitched a perfect first inning, and he will face now the middle of the order for Falmouth. Taylor Smith, Anthony Hall, and Jonathan French dude up against Dawson Netz from the University of Arizona. So the right-hand hitting Smith stands in. Rising senior from Texas A&M. And for the windup, here's the first pitch from Netz. And it's a curveball outside for ball one. 1-0 to Taylor Smith, who has been on a hot streak. He has homered in each of his last three games, hitting .263, 3 homers, 5 runs batted in. 1-0 offering. Swing and a miss. Blows the fastball past Smith, and it's 1-1. Smith, who hit .231 with 7 homers, 18 runs batted in for the Aggies in the regular season. He's a power hitter. That's his calling card. He's in the box to do really one thing, and that's hit the ball out of the ballpark. 1-1 pitch, and he lifts one high into the air, shallow center field. Coming on in is Cox, still coming on in. Long run for Connor Cox, and he makes the catch right on the edge of the infield and outfield. That was probably the longest run Connor Cox will ever have to make to go grab a fly ball. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. That's what you call a big league pop-up there. That one that just hangs in the air, and it stays in the air for basically 5 minutes. Anthony Hall from the University of Oregon, left-handed hitter. First pitch is in the dirt for ball one. Hall, a .237 hitter so far on the Cape. He has a home run and 2 runs batted in. 1-0 pitch from Netz. Breaking ball right down the middle for a called strike. 1-1. Hall, a second-year freshman who became a starting outfielder right about the beginning of April for Oregon, and he didn't really look back, posting a very solid season as a second-year freshman. 1-1. Another breaking ball just a bit inside. Says don't play the umpire, Rich Capitelli. 2-1. Hall hit .286 with 6 homers, 36 driven in for the Ducks in the regular season. From the windup, 2-1 pitch from Dawson Netz. Fastball is outside, and it's now 3-1. With Jonathan French on deck for Falmouth. Still no score, nobody on, with 1 out. Here in the last of the second. Netz gets a sign from Guillemette. 3-1 pitch. Fastball just outside. Boy, that looked like a good spot from Dawson Netz. And might have been just a bit outside. So it gives up his first base runner, first walk. And here comes Jonathan French from Clemson, a rising sophomore. And the starting catcher for Falmouth today. He's hitting .250 with 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. That's at the belt. I'll look over at first. First pitch. Fastball is inside. Ball 1 to Jonathan French. Served as a platoon catcher for Clemson this past spring. Played only 31 games. He hit .248 with 5 homers, 21 driven in. Quick throw over to first. And back to the bag with a dive is Hall.
Hall's got good speed. He's stolen 1 base this year, but only stole 3 all spring at Oregon. It's not world-class speed over there at first base.
Right-handed hitter versus the right-handed throwing Nets. 1-0 pitch. Fastball, and French pops one up in the shallow center field. Connor Cox drifting in to his left. A couple of more steps to his left before making the one-handed catch off to his chest. And so there's 2 down, and like we talked about, the wind blowing in, and it's gusting here at Gov Fuller Field. So any ball hit in the air, any fly ball hit in the air tonight, it's not going to go very far. You're really going to have to get both cheeks into it. As we've already seen a couple of well-struck balls just sort of die out there in the outfield. So 2 down. And here's Brendan Malone from the University of South Carolina. First pitch from Nets. Curveball at the belt for a called strike. 0-1 to Brendan Malone.
It's almost like Eldridge Park here with this wind. Even though a shallow park, everything just dying.
Hall with his lead at first. Lock clear to first baseman holding him on. Long pause. Now the 0-1. Curveball is inside. Taken for a ball. 1-1. So Malone, a corner infielder for the Gamecocks, had a down year for them offensively. He just hit only .216 with a couple of home runs, 10 runs batted in. And now a quick check over the first, and Hall is safe with the head first dive. That one a little bit closer to catching Hall off first. Had to react quickly. 1-1, Nets. Jersey flapping in the wind. Now fires it over to first, and Hall back to first with a head first dive. Dawson Nets not allowing Anthony Hall to get a sizable lead off first. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a curveball very high. 2 balls and a strike. So Malone, who had the down year for South Carolina, and he's reportedly in the transfer portal. One of 5 Gamecocks players as of June 21st. So he'll look to have a new home for next year. 2-1 pitch. Malone pops it up. This is going to be a souvenir out of play behind the press box. And so count even at 2. Bryson Ware on deck for Falmouth. If Malone can extend the inning. No score. Runner on first with 2 outs. First time this season between Orleans and Falmouth. Long pause from Nets. 2-2 pitch. And right down the middle, a slider taken for strike 3. Dawson Nets has 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. On we go now to the third. It's Orleans nothing, Falmouth nothing. And we are going to catch up now with our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, who has an update. Noah?
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. So we're hitting the bottom of the order right now. But one interesting thing in this one is going to be when we come around for at-bat number 2 for the Firebirds. And I'll tell you why. It's because while Dawson Nets has been able to miss bats, as you saw on that strikeout right there, Tyler Tuthel for the Falmouth Commodores, he hasn't been missing many bats. And in those first couple bats, you saw the first couple Firebird hitters hit him pretty hard, including Jared McKenzie, who hit one pretty good. It was an easy catch in center field, and it was funny when he came back, the coaches said that one would have gone out at YD. Poking a little bit of fun at Red Wilson Field, but the point remains that the Firebirds have been squaring balls up early, and while they only scored 2 runs yesterday, they did have 10 hits. So I think, while the Falmouth Commodores have been good so far. It'll be interesting to see, the batters that get Tuthel round 2, how they do in this one. Whether it happens this inning or maybe in the next, we'll see. But I think that might spell for a big offensive outing, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Noah, for that update. As we are now in the top of the third. Bottom of the order due up for the Firebirds here against Tyler Tuthill, out for his third inning. So far, too strong from the left-hander from Appalachian State. It'll be Corey Acton, Garrett Guillemette, and then Peyton Chanier. So Acton, left-handed hitter. Lefty-on-lefty matchup. First pitch, curveball at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 to Corey Acton, rising junior, who recently committed to the University of Georgia after a couple of years at Florida. Swings and drives one out deep to left field. Now going back, now swirling and drifting over to his right to make the catch is Anthony Hall for the first out. That one, Hall broke to his left before then sprinting over to his right before finally settling underneath it, and he makes the catch. And this is what the wind will do probably throughout the rest of this game for these outfielders. It's going to move this ball around. Acton is retired. First pitch to Garrett Guillemette is a fastball low and in for ball 1.
And the wind, Gareth, 15 miles an hour, and it's coming straight in.
1-0 pitch to the USC catcher. Takes it up high. 2-0. And you can hear it through our microphones. It is very strong. Everybody bundled up in their warm clothing. Not ideal weather for a baseball game. Guillemette pops one up on the 2-0 into shallow center field. Shortstop Colden drifting backpedaling, and now makes the catch off to his left for out number 2. So Tyler Tuthill has done a nice job really pitching to contact so far as he completes his first time through the Orleans order, and now here comes Peyton Chanier for the Firebirds.
Runs are going to be at a premium today. Firebirds probably see a lot more small ball than we usually do, because hitting a ball into 15-mile-an-hour wind and trying to get out of the park, that's a tall task.
First pitch to the right-hand hitting Chanier is a breaking ball. Looked like a changeup right down the middle for a called strike. 0-1. So Tuthill, who doesn't throw hard, I mean, his fastball right now, it's about 87, 88 max. And then that changeup and his off-speed anywhere in the 70s. 0-1 pitch. Curveball is up high for ball 1. Curveball running in the low 70s, 72, 73, with the mid to high 70s changeup. So it's definitely a slower look for these Firebirds hitters that they haven't faced in a bit. Chanier swings and lifts one high and deep in the left center field. Medium depth, left fielder Hall calling off the center fielder Hodo, and he makes the catch to retire the side. 1, 2, 3, quick third inning from Tyler Tuthill. As we move now to the bottom of the third, no score here from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth. We'll be right back here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Back here from Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field. Gareth Kwok alongside Carlo Jimenez. We are entering the last of the third. No score between Orleans and Falmouth, and we have a very happy update to share with all Firebirds fans. Our very own pitcher, who was just released a couple of days ago, but who pitched very stellar for Orleans this summer, Donovan Benoit, has been drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in the 2021 MLB draft in the 10th round with the 300th overall selection by the Cincinnati Reds. So congratulations to Donovan Benoit. It was a pleasure to see him pitch in 4 appearances for Orleans this summer. He had 19 strikeouts, and now he's a big leaguer. Congratulations to Donovan Benoit. First pitch to Bryson Ware is bounced foul down the third base line, 0-1. So everybody in the Firebirds community will surely be rooting on Donovan as he begins his professional career with the Cincinnati Reds, a 10th round selection, the right-hander from Tulane. Congratulations to Donovan. Dawson Netz's 0-1 breaking ball is in there for a called strike to Bryson Ware. Quickly 0-2 to the Auburn first baseman, Bryson Ware. He has only 2 hits and 27 at-bats for Falmouth so far this summer. 0-2 is popped up third base side. Corey Acton running towards the Orleans dugout. He's in foul ground, and he made the catch. Nice play by Acton, right by the Orleans bullpen. Not a ton of foul ground, but it's right next to that Orleans bullpen, and he makes a catch for out number 1, a foul out to the Orleans third baseman. So Corey Acton already busy in his first game with Orleans. Now here is Cody Colden, breaking ball, check swing. Did he go around? And yes, says first base umpire Ronaldo Cockrum on the appeal. 0-1 to the Washington State shortstop. Colden was primarily the leadoff hitter for the Cougars this past spring up in Pullman. 0-1 pitch, hit softly down the third base line, foul on the ground, and so now it's 0-2 to Cody Colden. Just 4 hits and 44 at-bats for Colden so far this summer. His average is 0.91. The ball's in 2 strikes. Nets from the windup, deals. Fastball, and that ball's stroked out deep well to left field. McKenzie backing up, still backing up, just shy of the wall, and he makes the catch off his right shoulder for out number 2. So that was the hardest ball hit yet so far in this game. Colden depositing one just shy of the fence. McKenzie able to make it near the warning track. And there's 2 down here in the third. And on top of the order, dude up, here's Doug Hodo for Falmouth. Right-handed hitter from Texas. Waving the bat in the air, first pitch, breaking ball, right down the middle for a called strike. Now that's just a quality curveball from Dawson Netz, and we got a glimpse of it in his first start against Bourne. To a right-handed hitter, it almost looks like it's going to hit you before it just veers back into the strike zone. It's a good curveball. 0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball down low, taken for ball 1. Count even at 1. Hodo grounded out to third in his first at-bat, back in the first. No score, nobody on with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the third, Dawson Netz trying to go through 3 scoreless. 1-1. Fastball just inside, says Rich Capitelli, the home plate umpire. 2-1. So far, Rich Capitelli, his strike zone, not the biggest, you could say. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball is tapped foul just behind home plate. Garrett Gilliman unable to get the squeeze on, but it's 2-2 now with Braden Taylor on deck for the Commodores. Home and home series between Orleans and Falmouth. Falmouth will visit Eldridge Park tomorrow. 7 p.m. first pitch, 6:45 pregame. 2-2, tapped foul down the third base line toward the Orleans dugout, and it remains 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Falmouth center fielder, Doug Hodo. Hodo's wearing his black and orange Longhorns cleats with the Longhorn logo right up along the heel. Here's the 2-2. Fastball up high. That's where Garrett Gillimet was setting up. Hodo didn't chase, so now the count full 3-2. On an overcast evening from Falmouth, very windy tonight. 3-2 pitch. Curveball, and Hodo hammers one well out to deep left field. McKenzie going back, still going back. He's shy of the fence, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So a couple of well-hit fly balls off the bat of Colden and then Hodo, but they turned into outs. And that retires the side. 3 scoreless innings thrown by Dawson Netz and Tyler Tuthill, respectively. Play-by-play duties will be handed off to Carlo Jimenez when we come back here on the Birds Broadcast Network. No score from Falmouth.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside my partner Gareth Kwok. As we begin the 4th inning, Orleans Firebirds, Falmouth Commodores, scoreless through 3. And it'll be the left-handed batter Jared McKenzie to open things up. 15-mile-per-hour winds, and everything hit out to the field has died so far. First pitch to the lefty. And he watches a breaking ball. Find the bottom of the zone. No balls, 1 strike. McKenzie, Cox, DeLauder. 2-3-4 in the 4th. 0-1. Misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tuthill working quickly. Sets at the bell. 1-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. McKenzie just 2 for 19 in his last 5 games. Had a 2 RBI game against Katuitt at Lowell Park and has been quiet since. 1-2. Breaking ball in there for strike 3. Second strikeout of the ball game for Tyler Tuthill. And McKenzie walks back to the dugout, and up comes Connor Cox with 1 out and the base is empty.
Yeah, what I've noticed with Tuthill, and when you have stuff that's not necessarily overpowering, but when you have a fastball that's sort of in that high 80s with breaking ball, super slow breaking speeds, those hitters, it can be tough to pick up a fastball even at just the 80s. It looks fast.
First pitch to the right-hander Cox, and he looks at a fastball downstairs. Tuthill's fastball, you mentioned it, Gareth. It does not blow by you. 1-0. Cox swings, rolls one on the ground, third base side. Third baseman alone, scoops to his left, fires to first. And Connor Cox retired, quickly 2 away, and up comes Chase DeLauder.
Certainly helps to have a park and the conditions favoring you. It's a pretty slow infield grass, wind blowing in, so anything on the ground is going to be slowed down. And then anything up in the air, it's just going to be, it's going to die out there. It's just going to lay up to rest.
Now the first 3 innings, both pitchers just face 1 over the minimum. As the left-handed DeLauder looks on the pitch, misses away, and the count 1 ball, no strikes. First of a home and home. Falmouth in Orleans. 1-0. Breaking ball skips in. 2 balls, no strikes. Firebirds have had a couple home and homes this season. One against YD, in which they went 0-1-1. Tuthill exhales, 2-0. Up high, DeLauder checks his swing, puts the brakes on in time. The count 3 balls and no strikes. He singled his last time up into right field, but was on the front end of a double play. Back in the 2nd inning. 3-0. DeLauder takes a strike right down the middle. The count 3 balls and 1 strike to him. 3-1. And DeLauder swings and cranks one foul down the left field line. And the count full now with 2 outs, 3 balls and 2 strikes to DeLauder. No score. Top of the 4th inning. Falmouth Commodores, Orleans Firebirds. 3-2. And a swing and a foul tap. Unable to handle it as French as that ball pops out of his glove. And Chase DeLauder re-velcros his batting gloves and waits for another 3-2 pitch. The payoff. DeLauder swings and taps one right towards the pitcher, Tuttle. He takes it on a hop, underhand flips to first, and that will do it. 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. No score here at Gov Fuller Field between Falmouth and Orleans.
All right, fans, tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Franklin Sports. The Orleans Firebirds would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. That's code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Tonight's broadcast is also sponsored by Rogers Gray. Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Thank you so much, Gareth. Always doing a terrific job on the reads.
My pleasure.
New pitcher on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds. It's Hayden Thomas, a right-hander from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Right, Thomas out of Leander, Texas, making just his 3rd appearance of this season, and this one coming 10 days after his last appearance against Brewster, in which he went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, and struck out 6. He's got a 4 ERA through his 9 total innings pitched. Gareth, what can we expect from Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas is going to come at you from a 3/4 arm slot. His fastball, he'll touch around low 90s, 91, 90, 91, with a curveball, slider, and changeup. So he's a 4-pitch guy, and what's been sort of the issue with him has been the long ball. He's already surrendered 3 home runs in these 2 appearances, and I think he's been raring to go, Carlo, given that he's been supposed to go on last Friday against Brewster, but that game got canceled, and then Saturday would he go at against Falmouth, but then the Eldridge Park's field conditions were no good, so he's been, I think, waiting to go for a long time, and here he is now getting a chance to do it out of the bullpen nonetheless, though.
Yeah, waking up on a lot of mornings and thinking to himself, I get the pitch today, and then the rain comes. So to the bottom of the 4th, it will be the left-handed batter Braden Taylor to face off against Thomas. Final line for Dawson Nets, 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. 2, 3, 4 spots coming up for Falmouth in the bottom of the 4th inning. No score, Orleans and the Commodores. First pitch home. Misses away. Count 1 ball and no strikes from Hayden Thomas. Braden Taylor only had 3 offers coming out of high school in Utah. Here comes a 1-0. Takes a ball that misses away. TCU and then BYU and the University of Utah all offered him. He picks TCU, said it felt right when he walked on campus. So here comes a 2-0. Off the outside again, 3 balls and no strikes, and Thomas yet to throw a strike out of the pen. So a guy who has 3 offers out of high school, Gareth, he goes to TCU and becomes Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Not too bad. Left-handed hitter looks on, the 3-0. Strike at the top of the zone. Taylor thought that was ball 4. He was ready to toss his bat towards the dugout, and instead he'll step back in and wait for another 3-1 pitch. Taylor hit .324 as he swings at the 3-1 and fouls it straight back. 12 home runs 53 batted in. Leading off this top of the 4th inning in a scoreless game with a purple right arm sleeve. A nod to TCU. 3-2. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Guillemette picks it up on the bare hand. He'll throw down to first, and that will do it. 3-0 to a strikeout. And Hayden Thomas retires the first batter he sees here at Gov Fuller Field.
Nice job by Thomas. And they get Taylor on a pitch in the dirt. Would have definitely been ball 4, but it's that deception. He's got that good secondary stuff. He has quality strikeout stuff. Can he keep the ball in the ballpark?
The lefty Jace Borfin looks on, opening offering. Misses away. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, it's a good day to struggle giving up the long ball, considering this 15-mile-an-hour wind that's coming straight in. Get a little help from the elements. 1-0. Off the outside again. All 5 balls Thomas has thrown have missed away. So the first 2 lefties in Taylor and Borfin. Ace is empty, 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Orleans and Falmouth, no score. 2-0. Just misses low. 3 balls and no strikes.
It's a tight strike zone that we've seen so far from Rich Capitelli, the home plate umpire. He's not really giving a ton of corners. And so Hayden Thomas, who isn't really missing by a whole lot, though, just not getting these strikes.
Lights starting to turn on a little more as the wind picks up. 3-0. Misses inside. A 4-pitch walk to Jace Borfin as he jogs down to first. And for the first time since the 2nd inning, Falmouth has a runner aboard. And up comes Taylor Smith. Borfin has good speed at first base. He's stolen 4 bases. And now righty on righty as Taylor Smith steps in. Smith flew out to center in his last at bat. Thomas peeks over towards first, deals home. And a first pitch strike on the outside. On the count, no balls and 1 strike to Smith. Smith, mentioned it earlier, a home run in the last 3 ball games. But that in jeopardy here. With the strong win, 0-1. Misses low, snap back throw to first by Guillemette. And Borfin back with a head first slide. 1 ball, 1 strike to Smith. Taylor Smith did not commit to Texas A&M out of high school. 1-1. And the ball off the outside. 2 balls and a strike. In fact, he thought he was on his way to the draft. Ended up at University of the Incarnate World, where he was committed. Then went to Grayson College. And now at A&M, 2-1. And he swings and pops one up straight back over the press box. And the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 4th inning, runner at first is Jace Borfin. He's the go-ahead run in this scoreless game between Orleans and the Falmouth Commodores. And Taylor Smith digs in. When asked about going to those 3 different schools, if that helps him at all, he said it has a little bit with adjusting to the new guys. 2-2. Strike 3 at the knees. Second strikeout for Hayden Thomas as he gets Smith looking. And up comes Anthony Hall with 2 outs and 1 on. After this final out of the 4th, we'll go to our sideline reporter Noah Searson. He'll have skipper Kelly Nicholson. The first time the Birds are visiting Gov Fuller Field, the longest drive in the Cape. Wasn't a bad one though, Garrett. First pitch to the lefty Hall. And he swings and slices one foul down the left field line. No balls and a strike. I know you got a good pregame nap in.
I did get a good pregame nap in, yeah. You guys seem to enjoy looking at me, taking a pregame nap.
You just look so peaceful. 0-1 runner goes. And a swing and a foul straight back. And Borfin will have to turn around and go back to first, and the count no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Borfin got a big jump off of first. He looked like he spent the last few pitches trying to time up Hayden Thomas, and he got a big jump, and Hall, though, fouls it off. So luckily, he's off. He's not in scoring position.
Scoreless ball game, bottom of the 4th. Orleans and Falmouth. Borfin doesn't go, 0-2. Just misses away. Gilliman thought that was strike 3. But Rich Capitelli did not think so. And so the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thomas looks at first. Borfin a healthy lead. 1-2. Down low. Check swing by Hall. He did not go. And the count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Anthony Hall was terrific in the Eugene Regional with Central Connecticut, Gonzaga, and LMU. 6 for 15, 7 RBIs, and 2 home runs. 2-2 to him. High fastball misses upstairs, and the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
So Borfin's going to get a head start. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. He'll get a head start from first to second. Locklear will play off the base now.
Hall taps the plate twice, adjusts his helmet, looks towards Thomas. 3-2 to the plate. Strike 3. Looking, down goes Anthony Hall, and Hayden Thomas strikes out the side in his first outing in 10 days for Orleans. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, as he awaits to get with skipper Kelly Nicholson walking over. Noah, go ahead and take it away whenever you can. Noah trying to track down Kelly. See if he can find him.
All right, appreciate it, Carlo. I'm here on the sidelines with Skip. And Skip, so far been kind of a pitcher's duel, both sides dealing, wind blowing in a bit. When you kind of see the games going at a fast pace and the weather might not be favorable for hitting, how do you try and get some offense going?
Well, we got to get base runners first of all, then we got to try to move them over, and we're probably going to have to play a little small ball tonight.
Well, you mentioned that on days that have been like this in the past, it's been a lot of bunting, a lot more base stealing. Is that something you're going to try to do early, or kind of see how the game settles in another inning or so?
We're going to play for runs every inning tonight because like the wind's kind of howling in, and it looks like it's going to be pretty low scoring, and 1 run could win this ball game tonight.
All right, appreciate it, Skip. I'll send it back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks so much, Noah. Always appreciate the insight with our head skipper Kelly Nicholson. Tyler Tuthill will begin his 5th inning of work. He has faced 1 over the minimum today as we start the top of the 5th. Tyler Locklear, Julio Marcano, and Luke Keschel will come to bat for Orleans as Locklear strolls to the batter's box. Tyler hit into a double play his last time up. Is 3 for 18 in his last 5 games. Locklear has struggled and trying to get back on track for Orleans. Bases. Tuttle exhales, first pitch. Locklear grounds 1 foul down the third base line. In the count, no balls, 1 strike. The wind still howling in, as Kelly Nicholson described it. And runs will be at a premium today, 0-1. Locklear taps 1 down the third base line, foul. That one looked like it might have been fair for his second, but rolled foul right before the bag. Third baseman Malone was over to his right to field it just in case. No balls, 2 strikes to Locklear. Tuttle likes the first sign he sees, 0-2. Locklear checks swing on a high ball and does not go around, says first base umpire Ronaldo Cockrum. The count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to him. Another overcast day of baseball. Seems like that's every day here on the Cape. 1-2. Locklear swings and misses well out front of a 72-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Third strikeout for Tyler Tuthill as he begins the 5th inning by retiring Tyler Locklear.
This is going to be a game where Orleans, they're going to have to do the little things right. Going to have to get on base, maybe a walk, not necessarily a hit, but then the small ball. Maybe you might see some more bunts that we've had the past couple of games.
First pitch to the righty Marcano, downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Julio, one of the 2 hits today, back in the 2nd inning. No score, Orleans and Falmouth, top of the 5th inning here at Gov Fuller Field. 1-0. Misses upstairs in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Julio Marcano back with his brother David. They've been in the lineup together once this season in the short time David has been here. 2-0. Misses high. 3 balls and no strikes. Julio was funny with us. We had a game about a week ago. David was in the stands. It was right before he was going to be activated. And about 5 minutes before, we thought, wait a second, 3-0. Strike at the top of the zone. 3 balls and 1 strike to Julio Marcano. Is Julio playing today? He's undressed and on the hill, sitting in a lawn chair. Come to find out, it was David. 3-1. Misses inside, and Julio Marcano reaches for the 2nd time today. A walk moves him up to first, and up comes Luke Keischel. Keischel, the righty, looks on. Like Kelly Nicholson mentioned in his interview with Noah Searson, every base runner is going to count a little more today with the 15-mile-an-hour winds coming in. And Marcano has good speed at first. First pitch to the righty, Keischel. And back to first on the throw goes Julio Marcano. Keischel lost his bat in his first at-bat with the Firebirds. Opening offering. And he swings and fouls one. Pop up down the right field line. And into the seats. Count, no balls, 1 strike.
I'd like to remind fans to please not go in the police parking lot to get foul balls. Thank you.
Luke Keischel, a freshman collegiate baseball All-American from Watsonville, California. He's repping for the Bay Area, Gareth. 0-1. And he swings and rolls one left side of the infield. Shortstop Colden, only play is to first. He scoops it up, fires that way. Marcano into scoring position. And an opportunity for Corey Acton and the Firebirds to put a run on the board in the top of the 5th.
Now batting the 3rd baseman, number 12, Corey Acton.
Acton in his 5 games with the Harwich Mariners did not pick up a hit. And a chance here to put Orleans on the board with Marcano in scoring position at 2nd base. Top of the 5th inning. 2 outs. As the lefty Acton looks on. Tuttle steps off and now steps back on. Opening offering to Acton. He takes a breaking ball at the knees for strike 1. Now no balls and 1 strike. Acton, who committed to play at Florida at just 15 years old. Tuttle's 0-1. Misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. But after spending a year there, a couple of years, decided he wanted to enter the transfer portal, and now a Georgia Bulldog. Marcano leads at 2nd, 1-1. And a swing and a pop-up down the left field line. 3rd baseman Malone running over towards the Orleans dugout, and he watches it land foul. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes to Corey Acton. Acton, this is his 2nd time on the Cape. Was here in 2019, playing for Harwich. And has made a couple of nice plays at 3rd base today. Spot left side of the infield for the Firebirds has been somewhere they're trying to find solid defensive players, and Acton has shown out early. 1-2. He swings and misses, and that will do it for the 5th. Firebirds get a runner in scoring position for the first time today, but they do not score. Gareth Kwok is going to leave us. Carry on, Gareth. We'll miss you. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. No score. Falmouth and Orleans. Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside, you're not Gareth Kwok, Noah Searson.
Hello. What's going on? It's great to be here. I didn't know if the time was going to come, play-by-play debut. But Gareth Kwok, he's getting to hop on the airwaves, WEEI. So if you want to hear him talk on there, you can go switch over there. But if you want to hear Noah Searson, Carlo Jimenez duo, stay tuned in. We got a great inning right here.
Jonathan French swings at the first pitch, diving to his left is Keishel. The shortstop up the middle can't get there. One pitch and a single for the catcher out of Clemson. Noah enters the booth, and Falmouth picks up their first hit of the night.
Yeah, maybe I got to leave now.
I mean, come on now. So up comes Brennan Malone, the right-handed batter, with one on and nobody out. Be surprised if we see some small ball here, Noah. Kelly Nicholson talked about it a little bit. Opening offering to the righty. Misses upstairs. Now, I've noticed something. I want to ask you as a former baseball player. Malone's wearing the fake stirrups. Do we have a name for those?
Fur-ups. They're called, not even affectionately. They're not a great look.
1-0, swing and a miss.
It truly is like the Walmart stirrup. It's like you either go full stirrup or go sock. It's like you're confused and you didn't know what to buy. So I'm not a huge fan of it either, Carlo.
French leads at first, 1-1. Strike on the outside to Malone. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I can't say I'm a fan either.
No, like, who dressed like that in the morning, they're like, this looks good?
Not me.
Apparently this guy right here.
1-2. Upstairs to Malone. And the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom 5, no score. Falmouth in Orleans. First time at Gov Fuller Field. Any first impressions?
It's windy, which, it stinks for us, but it's also having a huge impact on this one.
2-2, strike 3 on the outside. Malone is retired. 4 outs for Hayden Thomas, and they're all strikeouts. And up comes Bryson Ware with 1 on and 1 out.
I mean, talking to Kelly, he said 1 run might win this game. It's not only because guys like Thomas, Nets, all the pitchers out there are shoving right now, but there have been some very well-hit balls out there that just get caught up in the wind a little bit. Definitely not hitting 1 out today.
First pitch to the ready, Ware misses inside. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, we saw 2 balls by Cody Colden and then Doug Hodo back in the third that Jared McKenzie went a long way back to get those with the wind blown in. 1-0. Misses away. 2 balls and no strikes. No score. Orleans and Falmouth. Runner at first. Jonathan French after his leadoff single on the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th inning. The first of a home and home between these two teams. 1-0. And a high pop up straight back. And will land for a souvenir. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's another overcast day, and talking to Gareth earlier, it just feels like that's the weather out here.
Yeah, weather on the Cape, it changes so much, especially when you're close to the water like we are right now. And as much as it's windy now, the sun could peek out. But I would be lying if I didn't say that I'd love a baseball game where it was just sunny the entire time, just once. I feel like in our remaining baseball games, if we can get that once, I will definitely be a happy camper.
That would be nice. Sun and baseball.
What a concept.
Never seen it. 2-1 to Ware after the fastball misses low. And the 2-1 and a swing and a high fly ball into the wind. Connor Cox, the center fielder, over to his left, reaches up in what is now shallow center and makes the catch. Boy, that ball was hammered, and the wind here at Falmouth said not so quick.
Yeah, I mean, even on a hit like that, does it go out on a normal day? Absolutely not. You got a little too far under it, but is that an easy can of corn just about 50 feet past the infield? No, that ball might have Cox going back on a day where it's no wind or maybe a bit wind out. Needless to say, wind playing a massive impact on this one, Carlo.
Right-handed batter Cody Colden, one of the best names on the Cape in my opinion. Digs in with French at first. Thomas deals. Colden looks at a fastball in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. A leadoff single by Jonathan French, but that might all go to waste. 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning, scoreless game between Orleans and the Falmouth Commodores. 0-1. Breaking ball, misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom 3 hitters for this Commodores team, Noah, 8 for 96 on the year. Not great.
I don't have my calculator out, but I know that's not a great percentage.
0-83. 1-1, swinging a line drive into right. Chase Delauner charging forward. He makes the head-high catch, and that will do it. Well, you want to stick around for the top of the 6th?
If you let me. I can't tell if I'm putting you through the absolute gauntlet with myself and the color commentator. That was kind of some booger analysis from me right there.
No. I think you earned yourself another half inning.
Okay, we'll take it.
To the top of the 6th we go. Noah Sears is going to stay around. No score between Orleans and Falmouth here at Gov Fuller Field. Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field. Carlo Jimenez and Noah Searson paid me $10 so we could do the top of the 6th. Garrett Gilliman, the right-handed batter, strolls into the box to face Tyler Tuttle, who will begin his 6th inning of work. Longest outing for Tuttle before this was 3 in the opener against Bourne in that 13-8 loss. But he's going the distance today. It's been a quick ball game here in Falmouth.
Is there some wood to knock on, Carlo?
First pitch to Gilliman. Misses inside. You can knock on my head.
I mean, this guy knows that the broadcaster's curse is a thing, and he had the audacity to say this game is going quickly.
1-0 to Gilliman, and he swings and drives one into left center field. Left fielder Hall going back. He stops in front of the track and makes the catch, round number 1. The broadcaster's curse is not a thing. Anybody who believes what I say impacts the game in any way is out of their mind. That's how I feel.
I can't wait to clip this after we watch a 4-hour baseball game, and I'm making frozen pizza at 12:30 because all the restaurants were closed.
Well, that's on you for not being prepared.
Should have had some ground beef and beans ready.
First pitch to the righty, Peyton Chatinier, and he takes a ball away. Now, that was unnecessary. Chatinier with two hard hit balls to left, 1-0. And he looks at a strike go by him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Don't come for my ground beef and beans.
I wasn't adding anybody there.
It is a great meal. Thanks, Mom, for teaching me how to cook. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Count a ball and 2 strikes to Chatinier.
I mean, I'll tell you this much. Tuttle is going 6 today. You know what his pregame meal was? Unseasoned ground beef and refried beans.
Can I get that fact check? Base is empty, 1 out, top of the 6, 1-2. Chatinier swings and skies one into right field. Another fly ball, and guess what? Another out as Hodo, the center fielder, makes the catch.
Yeah, this has been a little interesting here because we're now, late in the game, 6th inning, top of the order, so you want them swinging away, but at some point, these fly balls aren't going to fly, pun fully intended, but, Kelly's going to have to start getting something going on the ground, whether that's guys at the bottom of the lineup bunting or even a guy like McKenzie. You don't want to do it with 2 outs, but you need somebody speedy who can lay down a bunt.
What were you saying?
All I'm going to say is that you said what we say doesn't impact what they did on the field. Jared McKenzie just squared the bunt there.
He did square the bunt. 1 ball and no strikes to him. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 6, no score between Orleans and Falmouth. The pitch out. McKenzie swings and misses. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
In a game like this, though, you got to do something to get them going. And even if you can get the ball in play on the ground, make them make some plays. Because let's be honest, Falmouth hasn't really been challenged defensively. It's been a bunch of cans of corn, easy catches. So, the Firebirds at some point, they're going to have to make the Commodores make some plays and really earn this one.
1-1, top of the zone for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It just feels like 1 run, and that's all you need. I mean, I hate scoreless ties. And the Firebirds, this is a game where you miss Ryland Thomas.
Absolutely.
1-2 to McKenzie. And he swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. It pops over the Clemson catcher as he brings it up with a bare hand, fires to first. French retires McKenzie on the strikeout. A 1-2-3 top of the 6. Noah Searson with his color commentary debut. You are terrific.
It was a fun time. Got to talk fly balls, the weather, like I like to talk about so much, and, food, the good cuisine that 911 Stony Brook Road cooks up.
Whoa, we should give our address out. Hang on.
I didn't.
Wow. Good thing nobody knows what town we live in. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th before this guy gives my phone number to the world. No score. Orleans and Falmouth at Gov Fuller Field.
Hi, I'm Steve Anzoni, owner of Fairway Financial and Cape Cod's Retirement Income Specialist. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, schedule a time to meet with me today.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside Gareth Quant. Gareth, it is great to have you back.
I heard that you had a very eventful inning with our sideline reporter, Noah Sears. How did that go?
Let me just say, Peace has been restored. Bottom of the 6th inning will be the righty Doug Hodo to face the lefty Jake Sum. First pitch, Hodo shows bunt, takes a strike at the knees. In the count, no balls and 1 strike. How are things at the big time radio upstairs?
Oh my goodness, that's a little bit. I don't know if it's big time radio, but no, John Garner very nice enough to have me on for an inning or so at WEEI, so that was very nice of them.
0-1. Hodo lays off a breaking ball off the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, I just can't imagine you with Noah. What the conversation. I'm going to have to re-listen to this conversation at the end of this game and see what you guys talked about.
Everywhere from baseball to taco meat.
Okay.
1-1. Hodo swings and flies one down the right field line. Right fielder DeLotter moving over. In fair territory, he sets up camp and makes the catch. And there's 1 away to start the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, only you and Noah would talk about unseasoned taco meat.
Whoa, who said it was unseasoned?
I've seen it firsthand.
Number 20, rated Taylor.
We're gonna have to get you. We're gonna have to buy you some seasoning after the end of this season.
If anybody has suggestions, tweet at us.
Yeah,
Let me know.
Comment to us here in the section as well.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 1 out, base is empty, and it's Braden Taylor, the left-handed batter. Sam kicks and deals. Taylor looks at a ball low. The count, 1 ball, no strikes.
So I'm just going to come at you from a low 3/4 slot. The UCLA left-hander doesn't throw very hard, mid-80s with the fastball, but he has a good slider as well as a good changeup as well.
1-0. Misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Falmouth team, Garrett, that is looking for their first win at home. In 7 tries, they are 0-6-1.
Yeah, we were talking with the broadcasters before the game. How can this team be winless at home? And they just said the pitching has not been so good at home. They have a 6 ERA at home, but right now they've been pitching a good game against Orleans. It's going to be a pitcher's duel tonight.
3 combined hits between the 2 teams. 2-0. Taylor bunts one down the third baseline. Trickles foul. The count, 2 balls and a strike. Top of the lineup in the bottom of the 6th of Hodo, Taylor, and Borfin. Dawson Nets went 3 scoreless innings. Hayden Thomas struck out 4 of the 6 batters he retired. He went 2 scoreless through the 4th and the 5th. And now the ball passed to Jake Sum, making his team-leading 7th appearance on the season. Sum has been used a lot. 2-1 to Taylor. Off the outside. 3 balls and a strike. Falmouth's only hit in this game came to lead off the 5th inning, a single by Jonathan French up the middle. 3-1, downstairs. A 1-out walk to Brendan Taylor puts the go-ahead run aboard. And up comes Jace Borfin, the best hitter in the lineup, with 1 on and 1 out.
Now batting the right fielder, number 60, Jace Borfin.
Borfin, another Falmouth player who came onto the team as an Oklahoma guy, entered the transfer portal, and is now going to be at Arkansas. First pitch to the lefty. Downstairs. And the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Borfin tied for the league lead in RBIs. Looking for a big one in the bottom of the 6th with 1 on and 1 out. Try to put his team up in this scoreless game. Sam looks at first. The lefty watches Taylor, 1-0. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. And Jake Sam has thrown 4 straight balls.
Yeah, these aren't bad pitches by any means. He's just missing off the outside right now, but he might have to come into Borfin here.
Lefty on lefty. Sam's 2-0. And Borfin smacks one foul down the right field line. Locklear, the first baseman, tried to stab it. The count, 2 balls and a strike. Commodores team that is 5-8-2 on the year, along with that 6 ERA that you mentioned, Gareth, at home. They hit just 189 at Gov Fuller Field. 2-1 from Sam. Just misses downstairs. Rich Capitelli keeping his tight strike zone. And they count 3 balls and a strike. A hitter's count to Borfin with the go-ahead run at first. Wind still blowing in on this overcast day. The 3-1. Swinging a foul straight back. And they count 3 balls and 2 strikes to Borfin. Borfin named to the Big 12 all-freshman team. Him along with Taylor Smith, who's due up, both Big 12 all-freshman team players. 3-2. And he swings and grounds one to second. Chatinier gloves it, looks at second, instead goes to first for the out. Borfin moves Taylor over 90 feet. But there's a runner in scoring position for Taylor Smith.
Yeah, you send that runner to protect the double play, and that's exactly what it did. Hard hit ground ball to second, and if Taylor's not running, that's a double play for Orleans, and they're out of the inning. Instead, runner on second, and a chance for Smith now, who is going to be intentionally walked here by Orleans. And so Psalm is, instead of facing the righty Smith, he's going to go face the lefty Hall and try and get Orleans into the 7th.
That's the right move. You want the lefty on lefty. And now 2 on with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. A Falmouth team that only has 1 hit today. And looking for their first run. Orleans trying to keep this a scoreless game with Sam on the mound. Hall walked back in the 2nd, struck out looking to Hayden Thomas in the 4th. Sam's first pitch. Downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. So for Anthony Hall, this is the 3rd different pitcher he's faced in his 3rd at-bat of the game. Psalms 1-0. Swinging a big chopper over towards second. Chatinier, the second baseman, charges from the infield grass. He'll go to first, and that will do it. 2 left on 2 walks, but no runs come across, and we are still scoreless as we head to the 7th inning. Gareth Kwok will take us the rest of the way. Orleans and Falmouth, no score through 6.
Top 7 from Gov Fuller Field here in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Gareth Kwok alongside my partner, Carlo Jimenez. It's a scoreless game between Orleans and Falmouth as we enter the 7th inning. Tyler Tuthill's night is done. He will complete the night throwing 6 innings, just 2 hits allowed, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. He was terrific. And so now he will give way to the rising junior from Boston College, Mason Pelio, a 6'3" right-hander from San Diego, California. Pelio in the regular season for the Eagles made 14 starts, had a 3-8 record, a 6.65 ERA, and 65 innings pitched. He had 54 strikeouts over 45 walks. The right-hander steps in, and he will be facing the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Orleans, Connor Cox, Chase DeLauder, and Tyler Locklear, who hope to break the scoreless tie in this inning. Pelio making his 4th appearance on the summer. And he's been off to a rough start with Falmouth. His ERA is over 12 in 6 2/3 innings. More walks than strikeouts. 9 walks over 7 strikeouts. So for Orleans, for Cox, DeLauder, and Locklear, they got to try and take this opportunity here to capitalize. First game of a home-and-home between Orleans and Falmouth. Pelio, first pitch to Cox is a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1 at 93 miles an hour. Carlo, what else does Pelio throw?
Yeah, you'll see a fastball that tops out around 94. Curveball, slider, changeup. He's got all 4 pitches.
Cox swings on the 0-1 and pops one up down the first base line, headed for the recreational basketball courts that are right next to the field. And so it's 0-2. No, we did not get a little pregame 5-on-5 in.
It's a good idea, though.
Maybe next time. 0-2 pitch from Pelio. And it's spiked in the dirt, blocked by the catcher French. Remains 1-2.
Well, Gareth, I don't want to brag, but me and you on the same team. I mean,
oh, that's like LeBron and D Wade. Come on now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cox with the left hand hitting DeLauder on deck. Here's the 1-2. And another breaking ball spiked in the dirt. 2-2. Orleans with no runs on 2 hits, no errors. Falmouth with no runs on 1 hit, no errors. It's been a very efficient game, very defensive game from both sides with the wind blowing in. 2-2 pitch. Cox is brushed back with the fastball high and in, taken for ball 3. The count 3-2. With Orleans, 2 of the best offensive teams on the Cape right now in the scoreless tie. 2-2. Cox taps it foul as he gets a piece of it just on the plate. And so we'll do it again, 2-2. Mason Pelio, who was a preseason ACC Pitcher of the Year coming into this season and was a weekend starter but had a disappointing season for himself in his career and himself personally. Gave up 4 more runs in 4 of his first 6 starts. 3-2 pitch to Cox. In the dirt, ball 4. And the leadoff man is aboard here in the 7th as Connor Cox draws a walk against Mason Pelio from Boston College.
well, Gareth, in nearly any other situation, I'd say let Chase DeLauder swing away. But the way this game is being played, you almost might ask Chase to put a bunt down here. He might be your best power hitter and the hottest hitter on this team the past couple of weeks. But you need to move a guy in a scoring position.
So here's DeLauder, the left-handed hitter, the big, tall lefty with a ton of power versus the righty Pelio. Pelio now turns and throws over to first. Cox back to first with a head-first slide. DeLauder today is 1 for 2. He singled to right, and he has bounced out to the pitcher in 2 at-bats. Best power hitter on the team. First pitch, fastball, just outside at 93 miles an hour, 1-0. So Pelio pumping in good velocity with the fastball. It's right around 93, touched about 95 so far. 1 ball, no strikes to Chase DeLauder. The pitch. DeLauder takes up high and outside. 2-0. Cox, who does have 2 stolen bases on the summer. He does have good speed at first. Will Orleans send them in motion here with runs at a premium here, given these conditions. 2-0 pitch. DeLauder lines one in the right field, coming on in and making the catch is Borfin, who was playing in medium right field, and he got a good jump off the crack of the bat. And so a tough way for DeLauder to be retired on a ball he just laced into right field. And so DeLauder's retired, 1 away, and here's Tyler Locklear now.
Yeah, one of the few hard-hit balls we've seen tonight, and just unfortunately right at a guy wearing black and maroon.
Our analytics guy, Jackson Thomas, on the track, man, he said 108 exit velocity on that line drive out. Tyler Locklear, first pitch swing, and he pops one up into deep left center field, going back near the track, and now coming in a couple of steps to make the catch is Hall, the left fielder, for out number 2. Just a mile-high fly ball. Not going to lie, I lost that one up in the sky for a couple of seconds. 2 down for Julio Marcano with Connor Cox at first.
So, Gareth, the Firebirds just hit The Lauders line drive at 108. Locklear's fly ball at 105 off the bat, and they both end up in outs.
I think that's been the theme for tonight so far. It's not like Orleans has been totally dominated. They've hit a lot of hard hit outs. And now a quick throw over to first to check on Cox, and he's just back to the bag with a head first slide in time ahead of the tag. That one very close. Cox nearly getting picked off first from the pitcher Pelio. With 2 outs, he could get aggressive and try and take second here. Julio Marcano from NJIT, first pitch. Marcano takes upstairs with a fastball for ball 1. There have been a lot of hard hit outs tonight from these Orleans hitters, just right at the defense or just shy of the warning track because the wind is blowing in. And so if it was a windless day, these balls are headed out. 1-0 pitch. Marcano, fly ball down the right field line, slicing toward the foul line. Borfin racing to his left near the foul line, and he makes the catch. And that will end the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors. 1 left stranded on the walk. And it is 7th inning stretch time here from Falmouth. No score between the Firebirds and the Commodores when we come back here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Well, Garrett, we're scoreless here, but let's update what's going on around the Cape. At Stony Brook Field, the Brewster Whitecaps have a 5-0 lead over the Whitey Red Sox, the top 2 teams in the Eastern Division, and Brewster, who currently sits atop the division with that healthy lead. Bottom of the 5th at Hyannis and the Bourne Braves have a 5-0 advantage, looking to bounce back after a loss to Chatham at Veterans Field last night. Scoreless game in the bottom of the 2nd at Spillane. Wareham and Katuitt even at zeros. And at the bottom of the 2nd at Veterans Field, the Harwich Mariners have a 2-0 lead over the Chatham Anglers. So a game that started an hour earlier than us in Whitey and Brewster is just an inning ahead of us.
Really? Well, that goes to show how the scoreless tie and how quick of a game it has been. We started at 6 p.m. first pitch. 7:33 p.m. local time as we are through 6.5. And as soon as I'm going to say that, watch this become the longest next 2.5 innings ever.
Don't worry, Gareth. While you were on professional radio, Noah Searson said the same thing. And I told him, what we say doesn't affect the game.
You say that, right?
It doesn't.
The baseball gods hear you, and then they say, all right, let's lengthen this game out. Let's make it a little longer for those.
There's just no way.
It's what happens. It's what happens when you with that. Jake Somm remaining in the game, the lefty from UCLA. Bottom 7 here from Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field here in Falmouth. Jonathan French, right-handed hitter from Clemson, takes the first pitch low and in for ball 1. Jake Somm, who came on in the bottom of the 6th, ran into a little bit of trouble, gave up a 1-out walk, and had runners on second and first with 2 down, but then he got a ground out to get out of the jam. Lefty working from the stretch. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And a ground ball up the middle. Chanier backhanded stop, throws on the run across his body in time for the out number 1. Chanier, who's been terrific defensively at second base. It's almost like he wants to throw it on the run. He doesn't necessarily want to set his feet, square up, and then throw the first. Now I'll just throw it across my body. I'll throw it on the run while I'm literally running toward third.
Well, he's retired the last 3 batters, so things his way have gone Orleans' way.
Brendan Malone, right-handed hitter from South Carolina, takes low and in for ball 1. Cloudy skies starting to subside here a little bit. There's a little hint of blue now in the sky. 1-0 pitch, fastball on the inside corner at 88 miles an hour. Count even at 1 now to Malone. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts looking. So now the clouds beginning to go away, looking to become a little bit nicer, not as gloomy. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Guillemette, the catcher. So 2-1. There is some activity in the Orleans bullpen as well. Trying to see if we can get a name, see who's getting loose. Somm gets the sign from Guillemette at the belt. The 2-1 pitch is inside. Guillemette said an outside target. Somm missed away. So the count 3-1. Bryson Ware from Auburn on deck. Orion Kirkering is the right-hander getting loose for the Firebirds. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Malone, line drive into left center field for a base hit, and that's going to split the gap. Cox is going to retrieve it, and he will throw into second, but not before Malone is standing into second with a one-out double. Cox, who is playing relatively shallow in center field, but Malone got all of that fastball in with a line drive into left center field, which split McKenzie and Cox in left center. And Cox had to turn his back and chase after it, but not before Malone is standing into second. He is the go-ahead run for Falmouth. Only the second hit of the ball game for the Commodores tonight, as here is Bryson Ware out of Auburn. Saw him look over at second. First pitch. Ware takes low and in for ball one.
First extra base hit for either team today.
Bryson Ware is 0 for 2, fouled out to third, back into third, and then he flew out to center in the fifth. 1-0 pitch. At the knees, a called strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryson Ware, infielder out of Auburn University. Look over at second by Som. 1-1. Breaking ball right down the middle, taken for strike two. 1-2. That's that slider that Som likes to use from time to time. And he'll mix it in to hitters. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Malone out in front, and he goes down swinging. 2 down here in the last of the 7th.
That's a big strikeout by Som. Able to retire Ware, and now Cody Colden, who back in his first at-bat in the third, blasted one to left. And I think Kelly Nicholson is going to go to the bullpen, and here comes Orion Kirkering.
Kelly Nicholson making the walk out to the mound. He's going to ask the ball from Jake Som, and that will be it for Som. Another nice job out of the bullpen in relief for the left-hander out of UCLA. He'll jog off the mound and be greeted by his teammates. Orion Kirkering has taken the hill, and we'll be right back here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Runner on second, 2 outs, bottom 7. No score between Orleans and Falmouth. Kirkering coming out to the hill. Runner on second with 2 outs. Jake Som has departed, and Orion Kirkering has taken the hill for Orleans. Kirkering, the right-hander from the University of South Florida, will face off against Cody Colden. Colden, first pitch, ground ball through the left side into left field for a base hit. They're going to wave in Brendan Malone. McKenzie boots the ball in left, and Malone will score from second. And Falmouth has taken the lead. The first pitch Orion Kirkering throws to Cody Colden is a ground ball into left field for a base hit. Malone scores from second, and Falmouth has a 1-0 lead now here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting the center fielder, number 17.
That one hurts for the Firebirds. Colden just 4 for 44 coming into this ball game. And he picks up his 5th hit of the season. And the bottom of the lineup, Gareth, who we talked about earlier in this game, has really struggled, brings home a run.
First pitch to Doug Hodo is up high for ball 1. So only his 5th hit of the summer, but it comes at a big time. Bottom 7 in a scoreless tie, and that tie has been broken. Falmouth leads 1-0 for a team that is winless at home. Hodo on the 1-0, grounds one softly to third. Acton on the edge of the grass, throws to first, pulls Locklear off the bag. Almost a collision there between Locklear and Hodo, but Locklear able to keep his foot on the bag in time for out number 3. But Orleans is down now by a run. We head now to the 8th. Falmouth picking up 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 1 stranded. It's Falmouth 1, Orleans 0, as we head to the 8th here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. Online at www.curry.edu. The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls, piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
All right, thanks so much, Carlo Jimenez. As we are now in the top of the 8th. Orleans down by a run. Falmouth grabbing a run on an RBI single by Cody Colden, scoring Brennan Malone from second. And the Firebirds now have some work to do to try and even up the score or take the lead. With the Eastern Division crowded, contested, it's going to be a critical second half of the schedule for Orleans. And this is where it all begins, continuing their 7 of next 10 on the road. They're going to have to become road warriors, but they're down 1 here as Luke Kieshel takes a first pitch fastball right down the middle for a called strike from right-hander Mason Pelio out of Boston College, 0-1. Kieshel in his Cape League debut so far, 0 for 2. Takes a breaking ball, skipped in the dirt for ball 1. Count even at 1. 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Kieshel, Acton, and Guillemette against Pelio, who pitched a scoreless 7th out of the bullpen. 1-1 pitch. Kieshel, soft ground ball up the middle. It's going to be fielded by the shortstop Colden. To his left, throw the first. Not in time. Kieshel beats out the throw. And the throw was dropped anyway by the first baseman Ware. Tying run at first for Orleans, who has good speed. And here comes Corey Acton now from Florida.
The 7, 8, 9 spots for Falmouth, able to bring home the only run of the ball game. The question is, can Orleans have their bottom of the lineup produce?
First hit for Orleans since the 2nd inning. We're in the top of the 8th. Left-hand hitting Acton. First pitch from Pelio is up high with the fastball. Ball 1 to Acton. Committed to the University of Georgia after a couple of years at the University of Florida. Flew out to left in the 3rd and then struck out swinging in the 5th. 1-0 pitch, fouled straight back to the chain link fence. The rusty chain link fence here at Gov Fuller Field. Strike 1 to Acton. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pelio gets the sign from the catcher French. Now a quick throw over to first. Tag, not in time. Kieshel dives back to first. Gets his jersey all dirty.
Kieshel stole 11 bases his freshman year.
I was just about to say, he stole 11, and he might be trying to go here. 1 ball, no strikes. Pardon me, the 1-1 pitch is high and outside. 2-1, the count to Acton. Orleans with their last 2 chances to either even up the score or take the lead. 2 balls in the strike. Pelio deals. Acton swing and a miss. Fastball at 93 past Acton. And the count even at 2 with Garrett Gillimet on deck for the Firebirds. Almost approaching the halfway mark here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Hard to believe, but it has flown by fast. And these next 18 games are going to be important. And a turn and a quick throw to first. Not in time to get Keishel at first on the pickoff play. A little bit closer than the last time. But he certainly has a 3-step lead off first. Right on the edge of the cutout. It's 2-2 to Acton. Left-handed hitter. 2-2 pitch. High and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll just have to see if Kelly Nicholson decides to put Keishel in motion here with nobody out. Try and protect the double play. Wind still blowing in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Keishel does not go. 3-2. Acton swing and a miss. Pelio elevates the fastball at 93, and Acton is retired for the first out of the 8th.
It's a big out there for Pelio. Thought maybe Acton would bunt, but with Gillimet, the 9-hole hitter, due up, let him swing away.
First strikeout for Pelio tonight. Here's the right-handed hitting Gillimet from USC. At the chest, first pitch, Gillimet off the end of the bat, pops one up, foul behind the Falmouth press box. No balls in the strike to Garrett. He's 0 for 2. He popped out to short in the 3rd inning and then flew out to left back in the 6th. Clouds beginning to move away from Gov Fuller Field. More blue skies. Keishel now runs. Gillimet strokes one out deep to center field. Coming out in is Hodo, the center fielder in medium depth center. Keishel racing back to first, and with a feet first slide, he is safe. To avoid being doubled off on the base paths. Gillimet with a fly ball to medium depth center field, and Keishel, who was running on that play, was already on second before he had to hustle back to first. Hodo with a good throw, but it was just late and not in time to get Keishel. So 2 down, and now Chanier, top of the order here for the Firebirds. Chanier is 0 for 3. He has hit the ball well tonight, but he's just hit it up into the breeze. First pitch, fastball at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. He's flown out 3 times. Maybe if there wasn't so much wind tonight, one of them would at least maybe go to the fence, but tonight they have all been routine fly balls since it's been up into that stream. 0-1 pitch. Chanier takes one, and it gets past French, the catcher, and it will roll to the fence. Keishley will head over to second on a pitch that French probably should have secured. Instead, Keishley now in scoring position. Keishel at second. And Chanier, opportunity now for the Orleans leadoff hitter to even up the score. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pelio looks over at second, deals. In the dirt, and it gets past French, the catcher. Keishel will now head on over to third. He'll take a turnaround third. He'll stop there. Back-to-back wild pitches. Well, you got a pass ball on from Keishel first to second, and then a wild pitch that allows Keishel to go to third. Runner 90 feet away. Peyton Chanier with an opportunity here and try and even up the score. Pelio now working from the windup. He peeks over at third, 2-1 pitch. Chanier strokes one out deep to left center field. That's going to hang in the air. Center fielder Hodo, medium depth, coming on in, circles around it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Orleans strands the tying run at third on 1 hit as we head now to the bottom of the 8th. It's Firebirds 0, Commodores 1. When we come back here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Sweet Caroline playing on the loudspeakers here at Gov Fuller Field as we have entered the bottom of the 8th here from Falmouth. Gareth Kwok alongside Carlo Jimenez here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Glad you can join us here on this Monday night. What we thought would be an exciting offensive explosion of the game between two of the best offensive teams on the Cape. It's been the complete opposite as Ryan Kirkering deals a first pitch breaking ball in the dirt to Braden Taylor for ball 1. Just 1 run. 6 hits combined from both teams. Taylor, fastball on the outside corner, a called strike, count even at 1. Orleans and Falmouth averaging over 5.5 runs per game, and right now it's a 1-0 Falmouth lead. The difference, an RBI single from Cody Colden in the 7th. Orion Kirkering, 1-1 pitch. Taylor takes inside with the fastball, 2-1.
On top of that, Gareth, Falmouth at home has an ERA as a team as 6. Orleans on the road, an ERA as a team of 6. We've had 6 combined hits.
2 balls and a strike to the left-handed Taylor. Fastball just outside. Pretty good spot from Kirkering, who came on in the bottom of the 7th. It's 3-1. Braden Taylor, Jace Borfrin, and Taylor Smith all dude up, 2, 3, and 4. 3-1 pitch, fastball, low and outside. Close spot from Kirkering, but as we have talked about throughout the broadcast, Rich Capitelli with a tight strike zone tonight. He's not giving that low and outside pitch.
It's been consistent, which is really all you can ask for. But yes, it has been a very small one today.
It has been consistent, as you said, but not a pitcher-friendly strike zone by any means, as Borfin, left-handed hitter committed to Arkansas, takes a first pitch ball low. 1-0 to the best hitter in the Falmouth lineup, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. 1-0 pitch, fastball, outside corner, and Orion Kirkering's going to have to find a new place to locate his pitches. He's pinpointing that low and outside corner, and he's just not getting the call. It's 2-0. The pitch, swing and a miss. Challenge fastball at 94. Borfin was almost trying to make it 3-0 with the 2-run homer there, but instead he waves and misses. It's 2 balls and a strike. Two 2-1 pitch, fastball. That one on the outside corner for a called strike 2. Almost sort of in that same spot he's been locating, low and outside. Sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Borfin lifts a pop-up in the infield. Second baseman Chanier doesn't know where it is. Now he comes in and makes the catch. Or I think he was just trying to deke the runner at first. Taylor had his hands out. He's got a smile on his face. I think that's what he was trying to do. He had his hands out to make it seem like he didn't know where the ball was. See if he could get the runner Taylor off a couple more feet off first to maybe try and double him off, but they just get the 1 out, 1 away with the runner on first, and here is Taylor Smith.
Got to salute the effort by Peyton.
Only Peyton would do that type of thing also. First pitch, breaking ball low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Smith. His 3-game homer streak is in danger. This could be his final at bat. He's 0 for 2. 1-0 pitch. High fly ball, shallow center field. Cox racing in, still coming in. He's almost behind second base, and he makes the catch for out number 2. I think that's the second time Connor Cox has done a dead sprint from normal depth center field to basically 10 feet behind second to make the catch.
Yeah, usually when you're playing center, you expect to be running backwards, sideways a lot. It has been all running in for all the guys in the outfield today.
Here is Anthony Hall, first pitch swing and a miss on a fastball. 0-1 to the University of Oregon left fielder Hall, who is 0 for 2. Drew a walk in the second, struck out looking in the 4th, and then grounded out to second in the 6th. 0-1 pitch, Hall, he pops one up in the infield now. Third base side, behind the bag in foul ground. Corey Acton makes the catch behind the third base coach's box, and the side is retired. Leadoff walk, nothing doing as Kirkering retires the next 3. And the last chance now for Orleans. Coming up next, Top 9, Falmouth 1, Orleans nothing. When we come back here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top 9 from Gov Fuller Field here in Falmouth. Commodores on the verge of getting their first home win all summer. They have no wins, 6 losses, and a tie, but they are 3 outs away from getting their first at home. Orleans down a run, and a new pitcher now for the Commodores. It's a left-hander from Texas, Lucas Gordon, a rising sophomore, 6'1", 193 from Los Angeles, California. And Carlo, what is Lucas Gordon going to throw here against Jared McKenzie, Connor Cox, and Chase DeLauder dude up?
Yeah, you're pretty much going to see 2 pitches. It's the fastball at 91 and the change of speeds with the changeup at 79. Batters this past season for Gordon, lefties hit 189, righties hit 171. He loves that fastball. You'll see the slider to lefties maybe. He does have a slider and a curveball, but it's very rare, and he likes to work the bottom of the zone with the fastball, changing your eye level, and then with the changeup, he'll go below the zone and sometimes come high with a fastball. So 2 pitches, change of speeds. We'll see if the Firebirds can pick him up.
Falmouth pitching has been terrific so far against Orleans tonight. 8 scoreless innings. Just allowed 3 hits, 2 walks, and then 6 strikeouts. Tyler Tuthill out of Appalachian State pitched 6 scoreless. Mason Pelio from Boston College, the right-hander, pitched 2 scoreless. And now Lucas Gordon, his job is to close things out and try and earn the save. He will face off against McKenzie, Cox, and DeLauder. 2 lefties he will face in McKenzie and DeLauder. Try and secure Falmouth's first win at home and what would be their 6th win of the summer overall. McKenzie stands in. Gordon from the windup, first pitch is a fastball, and it hits McKenzie up on the chest. It catches him on the uniform, and so he is aboard. The first pitch from Lucas Gordon runs in on Jared McKenzie and hits him in the chest area, and the tying run is on base for Orleans. Couldn't have asked for a better start to the 9th. And here is now Connor Cox for Orleans.
Doesn't matter how guys get on, you just need base runners.
Cox today, 0 for 2. First pitch from Gordon is bounced softly down the left field line, foul. No balls in a strike. Cox has bounced out twice, and he has drawn a walk back in the 7th. Orleans, if they fall tonight, they will go down to 500 on the season. 0-1 pitch. Cox takes high and outside for ball 1. Count even at 1. Firebirds and Commodores will face off again tomorrow night from Eldridge Park. First pitch at 7 p.m. We'll have pregame at 6:45 right here on the Birds Broadcast Network. The 1-1 offering. Gordon in the dirt. Skips through the legs of French, the catcher, and McKenzie is off and running to second. He's in there. So there have been several balls, wild pitches that Clemson catcher Jonathan French has been unable to keep in front of him. They have skipped underneath his legs, and McKenzie now in scoring position with nobody out. He's at second. 2 balls and a strike. Orleans trying to even things up here in the 9th in their last opportunity. 2-1 pitch. Cox swings and fouls one off to the right toward the police department. It's 2-2. Chase DeLather on deck. Good part of the order coming up to hit here against the Falmouth closer, Lucas Gordon from the University of Texas, coming off their College World Series run. Here's a 2-2. In the dirt. That time French keeps it in front of him. A good block from the Clemson catcher. And the Commodores backstop. It's 3-2 now. Gordon, who's still awfully young, and he didn't receive a ton of postseason experience this season with the Longhorns. He only pitched a third of an inning in the whole NCAA tournament. Didn't even appear in the Super Regional or in the College World Series, so he's still fresh off that. 3-2. Cox hits it on the ground to third. Third baseman Malone has it behind the bag. He'll throw across the diamond, and it is in time to get Cox by about a step. Good play by the third baseman, Brennan Malone.
Batting the right fielder, number 25, Chase DeLauder.
Or pardon me, that's Braden Taylor now who's in the game at third. Taylor is at third now. Michael Curiali out of UCLA, he's at second. Chris Armstrong at first. Those are the defensive substitutions as well. So Malone's out of the game. Taylor at third. And now here's DeLauder, left-handed hitter, lefty-on-lefty matchup. First pitch. Breaking ball, outside corner, that wraps around for a called strike, 0-1. DeLauder has hit the ball hard a couple times today. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Look over at second, McKenzie dancing off second, 0-1, another breaking ball, outside for ball 1. Count even at 1 now to the James Madison right fielder, DeLauder. DeLauder, the guy you want in the box. One of the best power hitters on the Cape. Now Gordon fakes a move over to second. McKenzie was dancing off second a little bit. Being held on by the shortstop, Colden. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, runner on second. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at the plate. 1-1 pitch. DeLauder hits one out to left field, hit pretty well. Racing back is Hall, still racing back, and he's going to slide to his right and make the catch. McKenzie is tagging from second to third, and he will get there without a throw. What a fantastic play by Anthony Hall, the left fielder, on a ball slicing away from him. A hard hit line drive off the bat of DeLauder, and DeLauder coming back to the dugout, shaking his head, wondering, how can I get a hit here at Gov Fuller Field? I've hit the ball 3 times on the screws, but nothing to show for it other than just the 1 hit. Great defensive play by Hall, sliding to his right to cut off what would have been the tying run. But McKenzie 90 feet away. Tyler Locklear, the right-handed batter from VCU. First pitch is up high for ball 1. 2 outs. Runner at third. That's Jared McKenzie. Falmouth 1 out away from picking up their first home win of the summer. Orleans trying to even up this score here in the 9th. From the windup, 1-0. Locklear pops one up down the first base side, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Locklear. He's 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play in the second, struck out swinging in the 5th, and then flew out to left in the 7th. One. Locklear takes a changeup right down the middle for a called strike 2. Orleans down to their final strike. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Locklear. Everybody in the Falmouth dugout up against the rail, waiting for the final strike. Gordon has to seal the deal. Locklear trying to stay alive. 1-2. Fastball high and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McKenzie led off the inning with a hit by pitch. Advanced to second on a wild pitch. Cox grounded out to third. DeLauder flew out to left. McKenzie tagged from second to third. He's 90 feet away as the tying run. 2-2 pitch from Gordon. In the dirt, gets away from French. McKenzie thought about coming home. Instead, he'll go back to third. That pitch that was blocked by French, ricocheted off to his left, not far enough for McKenzie to come home. He was certainly thinking about it, but it probably was the right decision. Tyler Locklear, the RBI leader for Orleans this summer. Can he deliver here in the 9th with 2 out? Full count pitch in the dirt, ball 4. And Locklear will jog down to first. Impressive at bat for Locklear. He didn't chase at any of these low pitches and these low off speeds from Lucas Gordon, something that he struggled with over the past couple of games. He lays off, and now Julio Marcano here will try and deliver for the Firebirds. McKenzie at third, Locklear at first. The tying run at third, go-ahead run at first. First pitch to Marcano is a fastball just a bit high. Ball 1, says home plate umpire Rich Capitelli. Marcano is 1 for 2. He singled up the middle in the 2nd, drew a walk in the 5th, and then flew out down the right field line in the 7th. Swing and a fly ball, well struck out to right center field. Borfin still racing back, still going back, and he's going to make the catch in the gap in right center field, and that's how this game ends. That's the ball game. A tough way for the Firebirds to go out tonight. Falmouth picks up their first home win of the season as all the players come out and will begin to tap hands with one another by the mound. But Orleans had their chance in the 9th. Runners on the corners with 2 out, and Julio Marcano sent one out to right center field. Well hit ball, but Borfin, the right fielder, makes the high backhand catch in the gap to rob Orleans of what would have been the tying and perhaps the go-ahead runs. And it probably summed up the game for the Firebirds as well. A lot of hard hit contact tonight, but the wind died. The wind died all those fly balls down, and they have no runs to show for it. Orleans with no runs on 3 hits, no errors. Falmouth with 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher for Falmouth is going to be Mason Pelio out of Boston College. He pitched 2 scoreless innings. Losing pitcher, unfortunately, will go to Jake Somm for Orleans, he pitched well in an inning and 2/3, but he surrendered the runner in scoring position and gave it up to Orion Kirkering before a base hit from Cody Colden in the bottom of the 7th. Through the left side of the infield on the ground. And they gave Orleans a deficit that they were unable to come back from. So Noah Searson is going to reach out to Hayden Thomas for our Birds postgame show. And so Noah is going to get set with Hayden Thomas. And Noah, whenever you're ready, take it away with Hayden Thomas.
Yeah, appreciate it, Gareth. So I'm here on the sidelines with Hayden Thomas. And Hayden, you had a big layoff in between your outings, pitched on July 2nd in that big win against Brewster. But today was your first outing since then. 10 days, kind of weird with some of the rainouts, the rotation switching up. So how do you stay mentally locked in when you have that big of a layoff and not only stay ready to pitch, but when the moment comes, pitch as well as you did today?
Yeah, so throughout the week, I'll just make sure I'm playing good catch in between. Try to hop on the mound at least one time with those 8 days in between pitching. Just take some pride in my catch play. I would say that's the biggest thing.
That definitely worked out for you today. 4 strikeouts in your appearance today, including striking out the side in your first inning. Wind was blowing in, so balls that were hitting the air definitely batted down. Didn't matter for you, though. You're just fanning the hitters. How did you feel today? What was working so early on, and when did you know that your stuff was going to be really good against Falmouth today?
I would say my curveball was the biggest factor today. I was flipping it in and out of the zone, kind of whenever I wanted, ahead of counts, behind in counts. I would say that was the biggest player for me.
Curveball, great, worked out for Hayden. Hayden, thank you so much for your time today. Good luck the rest of the season. We'll see you around. And I'll send it back to you in the booth. Gareth, I think you're standing by with Dawson Nets, so I'll hand it over to you.
All right, thanks so much, Noah, alongside right-hander at the University of Arizona, Dawson Nets, as we continue this coverage of the Birds post-game show. Dawson, another terrific start for you in your second start here at Orleans. 3 scoreless innings, just 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. What was working for you today here against Falmouth?
Yeah, it was just moving the ball around, flipping my curveball over early, and just keeping them on their toes.
Yeah, you've been here. It's still your brief stint here at Orleans. You just came here a week ago, but what have you learned so far just from manager Kelly Nicholson and from pitching coach Matt Troop so far?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just that everyone's so talented out here, and you can't take anything for granted, and I'm just enjoying every moment of it.
You're a West Coast guy. You're originally from Southern California. You go to school in Tucson. This is your first time here on the East Coast and on the Cape. How are things treating you, and have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, a lot of rain so far. Not used to that. Used to a lot of sun, but no. I mean, when we're able to come out here, it's awesome, and love the fact that we can go to the beach so quickly. So it's fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, it's nice that all the beaches are pretty centrally located, right? They're all pretty close, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Well, Dawson, good start for you today, and we'll see you next week for your next start.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks so much, Dawson. You're good to go, and that is going to do it for us here on the Birds post-game show. Carlo Jimenez is going to sprint back and put on the headset one more time as the Firebirds, with the heartbreaking loss tonight against Falmouth, and with the loss, they move to a record now of 7-2 on the season. Falmouth picks up their first home win of the season, and they move to 6-8-2. And Commodores winning 1-0. All it took was an RBI single from Cody Colden in the bottom of the 7th off of Orion Kirkering. And Carlo, back here on the headset, it was just one of those types of games where Kelly Nicholson, he was right. He told us after 4 in our 4th inning interview, it was only going to maybe take 1 run to decide the game, and he was right. It took 1 run to decide the game, although it came from the Commodores and not Orleans. But the pitching was good, the defense was good, and sometimes just it didn't. This is one of those games where it just doesn't go your way.
Yeah, a lot of hard hit balls that end up right at guys in maroon and black, and you just shake your head and say, on to the next one. We got them tomorrow. Big thing for the Orleans Firebirds to take away, and something that starting to become a trend this year, is close games have really not gone the Firebirds' way. And then a lot of these wins for them early in the season are games they're putting up double-digit runs, 7-8 runs a game. But it's been the tight ones that have caused them trouble. We'll see if the Firebirds, one, can get the offense going tomorrow, but also the next tight game they have, if they're able to squeeze out a win.
Tomorrow, they will be playing Falmouth again from Eldridge Park. 7 p.m. first pitch. We'll have pregame at 6:45, and what is an important next week and a half for Orleans. A lot of games on the road. They're continuing this stretch of 7 of the next 10 on the road. And for a team that has been inconsistent on the road, they're going to have to find some consistency if they want to be able to qualify for the Cape League playoffs. Again, only the top 2 teams in the East Division qualify. No longer is it the traditional 4 teams in each division. It's only 2 for this 2021 season. So they're going to have to make their mark quickly and confidently, and it will begin. This will continue tomorrow against Falmouth at home. Well, that is going to do it for us here from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth. For my partner Carlo Jimenez, our sideline reporter Noah Searson, and our producer Matt Schenfeld, this is Gareth Walk saying so long here from Falmouth. The Firebirds fall to the Commodores 1-0 and hand Falmouth their first home win of the season. We will see you all tomorrow for the second game of this home-and-home between Falmouth and Orleans, live from Eldridge Park, 7 p.m., 6:45 pregame. We'll see you tomorrow.